Oh, what's up, guys? On the scene for another edition of the MMA Fighting Wayne Show. I'm your boy, Clever Young. Joining me is Alex K. I don't know where on my screen. Casey Leiden. Still stuck in Mexico. We were just talking further around there. It's been a long week, guys. Last Wayne of the week. For those of you wondering if we're going to start on time, I can already see Walt Harris, Song Yadong, Kevin Holland, and Cheeto Rivera lining up to the left. So the second this clock hits 9 a.m., I guarantee you this is going to start rolling.
Which should be about 45 seconds.
As you can see from our tasty clock up there.
I'm just going to spend the next 2 hours untangling my headphones.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We got sweet footage. We got sweet graphics. We got the sweet, sweet tones of Jose Young, Z. Casey Leiden. We got sweet factoids coming up.
Oh, please no.
So,
factoids about the fights. They're about the fights.
So,
That's not true.
I'm pretty sure the weigh-ins are about to start rolling.
The card did have to be rearranged because of someone's Mike Davis. We'll talk about that later. I hope nobody breaks stuff out there, Casey. I know that it's been a long week.
I have faith.
Also,
nobody's getting any of these.
Before this starts, I can't move again. I'm stuck in the same chair I've been. So, if there's any sort of anyone stand up in front of me, I apologize.
Just yell.
I mean, I'm not going to yell at Heidi. I'm just not.
I dare you.
Hey, baby.
I dare you.
She yells at professional fighters for a living. I'm not going to do that.
All right. Well, this is 9 o'clock. Was it 9 o'clock Eastern? Yeah. So weigh-ins are officially started.
Oh. I see. Walt Harris will be first, followed by Cheeto Rivera, followed by Song Yadong. Yes, that's what it appears. I see Alex Perez there. I couldn't tell if he was on the card or not.
So
Kevin Holland will be fourth.
Now, if you see our results page, the very bottom, we have a new fight in the.
And we're starting.
These are the official weigh-ins. First up on the scale, the heavyweight division, one half of your main event of the evening, Mr. Walt Harris.
There you go. Walt Harris up first. Obviously emotional. That clap you hear is from Kevin Holland, by the way. Two six four point five. Walt Harris has made weight. One half of our main event is official. He of course takes on Alistair Overeem.
Championship weight for Walt Harris.
It is. I think I speak for everyone. I say it's great to see Walt back. Of course, after everything that's happened.
Marvin Vittori.
Up next.
He's trying to make 145, by the way, for people who normally see Marlon fighting at bantamweight. This is be featherweight fight on Saturday. $145.5.
I really like the UFC letting these bantamweights fight at a higher weight class.
Yeah, definitely a good call in this situation.
Song Yadong up next is Cheeto Rivera's opponent, actually. So this is the number 13 and 14th ranked bantamweight fighting at featherweight.
This fight is gonna be awesome.
145.5.
145.5 for Song Yadong. Both him and Rivera have to make the same weight. That fight is official. Looks like Kevin Holland's up next.
Song versus Veras, I think my guaranteed not gonna at all.
The last time
fight.
you said that, it was Granada and Madeira.
For who?
Lando Granada and Yancy Medeiros, you said the same thing. That went all 3 rounds too. It wasn't a barn burner.
Oh, that was a good
think you
fight.
said,
That was a very
yeah, but
technical
you said
fight.
guaranteed. You said guaranteed bonus. And I don't know if you guys can hear this, right? Kevin Holland is saying the whole time.
Sorry, they can't just brawl every time. Sometimes they gotta smite fart. Smite fart. This is early.
182.5.
182.5.
182.
182.5.
Wow.
Kevin Holland.
Yeah, we're gonna be a little loosey-goosey this morning. Our third weigh-in in a week. It's Friday. It's very early.
What a day.
These guys have to smart fight.
Smart. No, that's a technical term. They got a smart fight.
What did you say?
Alright.
Anthony Hernandez.
Did you say fart snipe?
I said fart smite.
Smite.
I did not hear. Who's this individual?
You know, yeah, you said smite.
It's Anthony Fluffy Hernandez.
Kevin Holland's opponent.
You are correct.
One 185.5.
185.5. 185.5. Anthony Hernandez.
Anthony Hernandez, no relation to Alexander Hernandez, who fought earlier this week. There you go. That's the kind of fun factoids I bring here. bring to the show this morning.
What are the chances of two people? What are the AK? What are the odds that two people have the same last name as Hernandez? Unreal.
It's unbelievable, and fighting on the same show. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Fighting it within the same week.
Same show.
Do we have the damage?
Yes.
No first or last name, just damage.
Just the damage. He's legally changed his name to the damage. I heard. Yeah.
His
Much
nickname,
like the Edge from U2.
His nickname is Darren Elkins.
Sorry.
146.
146. 146 for the damage.
146 for the Darren Elkins damage.
Wait, is that a sweet mustache he has?
Yes, it's goatee. Very much.
Oh, it's a goatee.
Right now.
Call me when he has the mustache.
Chris Holdsworth until, of course, Tina Connelly. Saw Uriah Faber walking around earlier.
The scale in the heavyweight division. Rodrigo Nascimento.
Rodrigo Nascimento managed to kick off an entire ESPN Freedom bout. ESPN Plus Freedom, I should say, and ESPN Plus.
Contender Series alum making his UFC debut.
$255.
255 for Rodrigo Nascimento.
Now, he is Brazilian, I believe. So I wonder, is it Rodrigo? As you guys know, I am a try-hard when it comes to pronouncing names correctly. I will consult our Brazilian crew.
Yeah, but you can't pronounce the letter C, right?
I didn't hear that.
Romero Borella.
Mara Romero Borella up next. She, of course, takes on Courtney Casey. Flyweight bout. Courtney Casey's bumping up.
Yes, bumping up for the first time in her UFC career. Courtney Casey will be coming up to 125. We have Romero Barella here.
$125.5.
125.5. 125.5. Not a footer.
Our next fighter, two scale in the 145-pound featherweight division, Giga Chikadze.
Giga Chikadze up next.
So Giga does have a fight, it looks like. As we listed here, he lost his original opponent, Mike Davis. We'll talk about that a little more later. But it looks like he does have a replacement who we'll see come in later.
What exactly happened to Mike Davis?
We don't know exactly. We're hearing reports of weight cutting issues.
Okay.
Some, maybe like what may have happened with Carl Roberson earlier this week.
$145.5.
145.5 for Giga Chikadze.
I believe that Giga and Mike Davis were actually booked on 2 other occasions. So, very frustrating situation for Chikadze. He's probably just happened to be on the card. So he's not. I'm not very happy probably with Mike Davis. Hopefully, no Vittori Roberson-esque fireworks.
I'm sure Giga's understanding. These are trying times.
Yeah, he's a fighter. Fighters are always.
Our next fighter, two scale in the 185-pound middleweight division, Christoph Jocko.
Christoph Jocko up next, the one that we were lamenting the spelling of his name before we went on. See Edson Barbosa, shirt off on the side too. He is looking insane.
185.5.
185.5
Oh my goodness.
for an Indian. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it out my window actually.
R.I.P. headphones.
185.5.
R.I.P. headphones. Sorry, everyone.
Edson Barbosa is up next. His shirt's already off. He's ready to go.
Featherweight division, Tristan Connelly.
Like Jose, like, did you hear that? Yeah. we heard that.
Dude, he's looking.
Whoa.
Oh, here he is.
Here we
Edson
go.
Barbosa, 145. Let's see if he can do it.
Smiling.
Wow.
145.5.
Go.
Half a pound away from championship weight for Edson
Yeah.
Barbosa's first trip to featherweight division.
Long time.
on the back.
Long-time lightweight contender, not a small lightweight. At least if you're just going on kind of on the eye test, not a small lightweight. But there we go, 145.5.
Doesn't look like he's like exasperated or.
Where were
sucked
those?
out, too.
Where were those 10 extra pounds?
He lost an app.
Our next fighter, two scale in the 170-pound welterweight division, Miguel Baeza.
Miguel Baeza up next.
Huge opportunity for Miguel. He fights Matt Brown. This could be it. This is a huge step up for his career.
This wasn't who was his original opponent? Matt Brown in Columbus. Was it?
170.5.
170.5.
I will answer that for you in a moment. I think. Who was his original? Let me look that up quickly.
We are flying. There's a lot of fighters left to go. But they're all right here.
No, that was his original opponent.
It was his original. Yeah, just the date was moved. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Dan Ige up next. Is Marvin Vittori still here?
Marvin Vittori, he tweeted that he's going to still weigh in.
I see him right here.
He's going to weigh
Yeah, I
in.
see him right here. Why is he weighing in? Just because he wants to?
I think he wants to fight you.
Oh, I'm not 185. I'm like 40 pounds away.
126.
146 for Dan Ige. It's in Levels actually comes in half a pound lighter than Dan Ige.
That fight will be super interesting. Just don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest. Ige and Barboza have made weight.
Marvin.
Our next fighter to the scale in the middleweight division, 185 pounds, Marvin Vittori.
Marvin Vittori coming out to weigh in again.
Versus just what
As a replacement, I guess. Is he Wayne as a potential replacement?
what are we doing?
Don't know.
Okay, I'll make a note of it. All right.
I think he's saying I don't have an actual fight. The guy.
Is this just for fun? Are we just weighing people in for fun?
I think so.
Okay. Just double checking. Whoa. Oh, there we're back. We're back. Got a lot of... Marvin Vittori is weighing in right now.
I don't know what's happening here. I'm still confused. Why he? Okay, hold on. We'll wait till we hear the weight.
203.5.
203.5.
Okay. There's no light heavyweight bouts on the card, so I don't know if he's.
For those of you
So
asking the question, Marvin is
here we go.
weighing in as an alternate.
He said he's weighing in as an alternate. Maybe
For
heavyweight?
what?
For a heavyweight, I guess a heavyweight fight, but you have to weigh over. I thought you had to weigh over 205, or I think you'd weigh at least 206. I thought to be eligible for a heavyweight fight.
So
I could be wrong.
He's an alternate for a light heavyweight fight that's not on the card?
There are no light heavyweight
guess
fights on
so.
this card.
Wow, that's a big... Man, Vittori's just having lots of bad luck this weekend.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to word this tweet. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment, America, while I try to figure out how to disseminate this information.
This is a new...
Next up in the women's strawweight division at 115 pounds, please welcome Angela Hill.
Angela Hill of Neptune, of course, you can go see a sneak peek of her training camp from our own Casey Lyden on our YouTube page.
You know, I think Jose said it best. Let's just, there we go.
Noted weed, Angela Hill.
115.
115 championship weight. Looks like we might have a little bit of a break now.
Okay, good. We can kind of talk more about this Marvin Vittori thing. He really wants to fight.
He really does.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Marvin Vittori was supposed to fight Carl Roberson on Wednesday. Carl Roberson had issues making weight. They both weighed in initially. Vittori was successful. Roberson came in heavy, but then the fight was later canceled when they revealed that Roberson had some medical issues related to the weight cut, so the fight didn't happen. There was a big confrontation in the hotel lobby between Vittori and Roberson. You can see the video on our website. You can read our own Steve Morocco spoke to both parties, both Vittori and Roberson's side, to get the nitty-gritty on it. So it was quite a lot of drama there. So you can check that out again, MMAfighting.com. And now Vittori has weighed in today, seemingly as a potential replacement for a heavyweight fight. He came in very light, 203.5. Which I would think normally would make you ineligible for a heavyweight fight, but we are in Florida. I don't know the exact parameters here. So there we go. If anyone's just saw Vittori come on and why he weighed in, that is why.
My only assumption is this is some weird way that the UFC, so they can pay him Vittori money, and if you weigh in, you get some sort of standby money.
Mm-hmm.
That's we've had that happen before. fighters weigh in for replacement fights for main events that we know are happening, but they still weigh in just so they can get paid. So that's
similar to Jared Cannonier tried to did it for the co-main event in New York, I believe, for the Kelvin Darren Till.
Yeah, it's happened a few times. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Thiago Santos weighed in case something happened with Izzy and Brad Tavares. Alexander Volkov weighed in case something happened between Cormier and Stipe. So yeah, it's not an unprecedented thing. Usman obviously weighed in, famously weighed in ahead of Till. Woodley didn't even get a fight. Then worked out in his favor later on. He scratched VO2's back, he scratches your back. So yeah, you're not wrong.
I would certainly like it if Vittori was compensated for, his Wednesday booking already. In my opinion, he should get his show and win money. And then if he's just getting another paycheck today, again, and possibly weighing in for a heavyweight fight, then that's good for him. Hopefully he gets paid either way, whether they find a fight for whether they need him or not. But I guess we'll find out about that in turn. Our good friend Fernando Prates told me I am pronouncing Rodrigo correctly. The last name I'm not sure, so I'm not going to brag about that. But Rodrigo Nascimento. So there we go. She also cracked. Apparently, Edson Barbosa had a secret stash of body fat and a second liver hidden behind that 120 pack. Who knew? So, if anyone's wondering how he made weight, we're still trying to figure it out. He said all week, Edson Barbosa was saying the right things. He said no issue. He said I came into camp lighter. The cutting process feels the same. He was very laid back all week. So, I was definitely concerned, but he was giving off all the a lot of good signs. So there we go. 145.5 for anyone just tuning in. Edson Barbosa successfully making weight for his first fight at featherweight.
Sorry about the little jostling. The table was bumped.
Oh, okay.
Table was bumped.
All right, I gotta adjust the cameras again.
It wasn't me, guys. It was someone's trying to sneak in.
It's wild in Jacksonville.
We had a good rush of weigh-ins to start the day. We're still waiting on the other half of the heavyweight main event, Alistair Overeem. He usually comes in late. He is not in any rush to hit the scale. He's enjoying himself another hour of sleep now, probably. Claudia Gadelia, the co-main event, she has to make strawweight. No, shouldn't be much of an issue there.
Whoa. What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't expect any of these fighters to have issues.
Okay.
See, these people are all professionals. We are waiting on Eric Anders. Wow, we got most of them already. Courtney Casey, Nate Landwehr, and newcomer Erwin Rivera. I guess we should fill people in on that situation, eh? For anyone just tuning in, Giga Chikadze was once again booked to fight Mike Davis. We're hearing Mike Davis had issues with his weight cut and was forced to withdraw. So with less than 48 hours notice, Florida-based fighter Erwin Rivera, I think he has ties to Henry Hooft. I think that's who he trains with. He's stepping in. He's normally a bantamweight, of course. So this fight is at 145 pounds. Hopefully he doesn't have any problems making weight. But again,
we're getting some movement, guys.
Okay.
Our next fighter, everybody, I'm sorry, stand by, everybody.
We're just waiting for the UFC cameraman to come back. That's funny. They said, wait, we got our cameraman.
Our next fighter to the scale in the heavyweight division,
Dantale Mays. Kicks off a guard against Rodrigo Nascimento.
Well done, Jose. Well done.
You know me. Two, four, one. 241.
$241 or $249?
241.
241.
Oh, I heard 241.
That's what I heard as well. Yep, we have 241. Dontel Mays, another Contender Series product. A young man who it took him 3 tries in the Contender Series to get that contract. So Good for him. He did make his UFC debut already. He fought Cyril Gane and lost by third round heel hook. No shame in that. Cyril Gane, one of the brightest heavyweight prospects in the UFC right now. So we'll see how it goes for Mays this time around. But yeah, 3 tries in the Contender Series. It's this guy very persistent, if anything. Everyone tuning in, you can see the graphic on the side giving you a summary of all of the people who have already weighed in and who we are waiting for. We've also got the lovely timer in the bottom of your screen, so well over 90 minutes. No reason for concern for anybody yet. These graphics brought to you, of course, by the brilliant Esther Lynn, as you all know.
What we do not have a graphic for is Marvin Vittori, who...
Yes. This is correct. Marvin Vittori weighed in at 203.5. He normally fights at middleweight. It looks like he is being potentially positioned to replace someone should they fall out. Though 203.5 is below what I understand to be the heavyweight limit. But again, these are strange times, strange circumstances.
Claudia Daly's about to jump up.
Two Invicta FC fighters fighting again in the UFC.
One 115.5. 115.5.
We are breezing through so far. I have a feeling we are going to be waiting a long time for Alistair Overeem, the other half of that. Maybe not. But let's hope that we at least get somewhat of a stagger. Otherwise, it could be 2 or 3 more people weighing in, and then, like I said, everyone just kind of waiting around for the room. But that gives us plenty of time to spend with our viewers, who I'm sure are leaving all kinds of lovely comments on the live stream right now. I see all you stream monsters out there.
Stream monsters. Huh?
Oh, the comments are coming in hot. They are coming in hot. I see. Is Vittori getting a fight? Again, we don't know. He certainly had already had a near altercation in the hotel lobby earlier this week with Carl Roberson, who he was supposed to fight. A lot of frustration there. Vittori, again, has had several bookings drop out recently, and so for him, you can imagine the frustration weighing in successfully and being so close to fight night, and then being told that his opponent did withdraw. So, that story is kind of still developing. I don't know if they're going to rebook that one. It might be the end of Vittori versus Roberson, but Vittori again weighed in 203.5 today. There are 2 heavyweight bouts potentially that he could step into, though. Again, this seems. It's a very, very strange situation. But he is on call, and he made weight, and we're all hoping he gets some sort of compensation for that. Otherwise, just waiting for Erwin Rivera and Nate Landwehr and Eric Anders and Courtney Casey. And then, as we said, I'm not even saying Alistair anymore because I'm confident he'll make it.
And
I'm confident
Matt Brown.
And Matt Brown, excuse me. Yes, correct. Thanks, Casey. And I'm not even mentioning Alistair anymore because I'm confident he'll make it and probably show up at about with like 45 seconds to weigh in with that big smirk on his face. Thanks for waiting.
When he fought Stipe, he actually showed up late for the weigh-ins and he got fined. I think like $50 or something.
500.
500.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah. He told him while he was on the scale.
He was like, "What?" And he literally just woke up late. Which the crazy part is technically they could have canceled the fight because he actually missed the weigh-in.
Yeah, I'm sure his opponent wouldn't want that, of course. But a lot of credit to Alistair as well, I think, for taking this Walt Harris fight. It's not a fight that I think a lot of people would take. I'm sure everyone's familiar with the Walt Harris and the Anaya Blanchard story, his stepdaughter who was so tragically the victim of a violent crime. It was earlier this year? Was it the end of last year?
It was the end of last year.
Yeah. The awful story. They were booked to fight before, and understandably, Walt Harris, stepped aside for personal reasons. So now that they've got this booking, and I'm trying to imagine if there was actually people in the crowd, what a reception Walt Harris would get. And I think Overeem would get a good reception too, but he'd kind of be the de facto, everyone would be rooting against him just because we want to see this moment for Walt Harris. We want to see him get this big win since, this tragedy happened to him and his family. So, again, credit to Overeem for stepping up. He'll fight anyone anytime. He's a veteran. He's been doing this forever. He's a professional. He's really the right choice, I think, for this sort of situation. And I think we're gonna get a good fight, and it is going to be a lot of emotion. There's going to be a lot of emotion during the walk-in, during the fight. Certainly afterwards, if Walt Harris wins, we get a post-fight speech from him. It's really going to be something. So definitely look out for that.
I do want a quick update on the weigh-ins. Per the UFC, the late newcomer Rivera will weigh in separately from the other fighters and won't participate in face-offs because he's still doing the medical check, including like COVID test and antibody test.
Oh.
So
he's actually quarantined basically from the other fighters.
Yes.
Oh wow, this is a new era. Wow.
So yes, he will be weighed in separately and will not participate in face-offs.
Yeah.
So
that is how late notice Aaron Rivera's involvement is in, that he is going through all the procedures everyone else is, less than 48 hours before fight night, and weighing in and not being part of this weigh-in, or I assume face-off ceremony.
Because he hasn't been tested, so they don't know if he's actually going to be allowed to be within the vicinity of the other fighters and his opponent. Ooh,
correct.
Man, that is...
MMA is back, everybody. MMA is back. Some interesting parallels to these three cards we've had this week. I think each card has had someone miss weight or have some sort of weight issue. We had Jeremy Stevens last Friday. That fight did go through as scheduled. Then we had Carl Roberson and Vittori on Wednesday. That fight was canceled. And then we had Kiki Chikadze and Mike Davis. They were supposed to fight. Mike Davis out. So we've had those replacement situations. That's kind of interesting. We've also had, each card has had a fight where fighters have been fighting up a weight class to accommodate, sort of this weird short notice situation. Now we've got Marlon Vera and Song Yadong today. We had Hunter Azure and Brian Kelleher going from bantamweight to featherweight. Hey, Oscar. Bantamweight to featherweight on Wednesday. And we had Donald Cerrone and Anthony Pettis, who kind of bounced between lightweight and welterweight anyway, but fighting at the higher class of welterweight on last Saturday. So we got some eerie parallels here, man. And also both the main events, the UFC 249 main event, the UFC Jacksonville main event, they became lopsided fights that ended in the fifth round. So hopefully we don't see the same thing on Saturday, this Saturday, because those last three events were.
We have a guest analyst.
Here we go, Oscar Willis.
What's happening?
You're live, buddy.
Isn't this coffee terrible?
Hi guys, yeah, the coffee is terrible. The haircuts are terrible. The energy is terrible. Everyone needs to get their feng shui back on track and really have the fans started having Ethan.
Wait, is it how the energy is terrible? You guys aren't.
Well, no, so
sorry, wait.
What Oscar says, Heidi just turned
Oscar, keep that mask on. Keep that mask on, Oscar.
Well, but if I keep the mask on, all your fans get a little mad and say, "Oh, take your mask off, can't hear you." And I want to drink my coffee.
Well, those fans are not smart. It's like
at least they're not watching to hear that. Jeez, goodness me.
Oh my! Hey, dude, we're 3,000 miles away. I'm like, dude, Oscar, back away.
I'm sorry, man. The social distancing is just not on point. What day is it? Friday?
I don't leave it though.
They've all drifted.
He's been here since last Tuesday?
Yeah.
He's been here 2 days longer than me, and I'm feeling burnt out.
I got here early because I'm an overachiever because I grew up short.
You're still short.
That is true. Thanks for that, Jake.
The shortest MMA reporter in the land. That's what we call him.
That's not true. I can name two others who are shorter than me. I won't, but I could.
Are you taller than Ramondi?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
And you're taller than Cool Alex on our side, Alex Savis.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, I'm taller than loads of people. I think I'm taller than Esther.
Maybe slightly.
This is so uninteresting for people watching.
Slightly taller.
3 weighted shows. We're running out of things to talk about.
Oh, I have lots to talk about.
Oh my God.
Oscar, what has been your favorite? What has been your This week is not even near being over. But what has been your favorite part of this Jacksonville week so far?
Just seeing all the peers, the people around me who I care about so much.
Wow.
It's a bit emotional. What's been my favorite part? To be honest, the first night of fights, I felt like a billionaire having people fight just for me.
Yeah, so like what you guys
That's
don't
pretty
see
cool.
is like I sat cage. I had octagon side access, so it was like me and John Morgan and like the AP and one or two other like local reporters. Oscar and the other like other scum, as he calls it, had like box seats.
Yeah.
They were like they were higher up where like the rich people sit.
Ooh.
So they were basically just
Where I belong.
yeah. So they basically like he had the best seat in the house.
Yeah, I did.
Like I was getting like people would say like oh octagon would be cool, but like there's poles in the way. If there's action on the other side, it can get hard to view. Oscar was basically looking down into the octagon.
Yeah, I felt very cool. It felt like something I fought for and deserved. But that was the best experience really. Just I felt like pretty lucky to be there, I guess. And it's in this industry, it's all for the book at the end of the day, isn't it? Just getting these crazy, weird, unique experiences. So first this, then Fight Island.
Oscar, are you disappointed that the 23rd card, fell through? Because that could have possibly been held in Jacksonville again, and you could have stayed for another week in Jacksonville. Are you disappointed that it got moved?
No. Jacksonville has its charm, I'm sure. I'm just yet to find it.
So
I saw some dolphins in the river. That was quite nice.
Ooh, dolphins. So give me your top 25 things you love about Jacksonville.
The people.
Okay.
The best.
One.
The cuisine has been good. Haven't been able to try it, but it's good. The river's quite nice. That's 3. The bridges. There's 2, 3, 4 bridges. So
You found a box of knives.
Found a box of knives on the floor. That was cool. Nearly could take them with me.
Knives.
The thing about nailing it down to 25 is there's just so much of Jacksonville that I like. It's almost
The long Uber route.
Oh yeah, the fact that I can't get an Uber, so I have to walk everywhere if I want to go anywhere. Not that you would want to, but yeah, Jacksonville's alright. It's great. I love being here. But no, I'm not too sad about the 23rd being cancelled, to be honest.
Oscar, were you aware that Limp Bizkit, the American band Limp Bizkit, is from Jacksonville, Florida?
I take it all back. I do like Jacksonville.
What is?
Wait. You've been there for like
That's why the UFC's just kept rolling with these.
Yes, Oscar. Yes, you get it. This guy gets it.
I had faith.
Yeah,
I had faith.
There you go.
You had faith there'd be a good reference there.
To be honest, I don't actually dislike Limp Bizkit.
You're the only one. You and Alex.
I don't know. They're not that bad.
I thought you were about to. That actually was a lyric from Nookie. I thought you were about to start singing Nookie Jose, but I'm disappointed it didn't go there.
Okay.
I don't even know what that sentence
I don't know
means.
what you're talking about.
We almost had I'm just saying. We almost had a moment where you started singing Nookie. You didn't even realize it. That's the magic. That's the magic of the biscuit, as we call it.
Oh, okay.
Right, I'm going back to work.
Awesome, there you go. Thanks for stopping by. And Oscar has left the building.
That was magical. That was really magical.
Ask Oscar where he can take that cookie and stick it up his
Oh, all right. Hold on. There's children watching, Casey. As much as I love Limp Bizkit is not always for the children. So, good wholesome family.
Children love chocolate starfishes.
Oh my goodness.
And hot dogs.
Flavored water. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I did see a comment asking, I see this all the time, is Kevin Lee my cousin? Yes, obviously Kevin Lee is my cousin, and we have our other cousin Andrea Lee, Angela Lee over in ONE. We're all Keith Lee over in NXT. He's also clearly, people say I look like him. So yes, we're all cousins. We're all related. Kevin Lee and I, yes, very close.
How about Cliff Lee?
Cliff Lee, yes, pitcher. I was gonna say Cleveland Indians pitcher, but who else did he pitch for?
Throw a dart at a wall. You pretty much hit a team he pitched for.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's
the Mariners, the Phillies.
What did he win?
There's a million of them.
I don't remember any. I remember Cliff Lee being really good. I only remember Cleveland. All right, everyone just joining in. I think most of the stream monsters have been here the whole time, but for anyone who just happened to accidentally wander into this YouTube, we are just waiting on a few people. You can see the results on the graphic right there. No one has missed weight yet. We're waiting on main eventer Alistair Overeem. His opponent, Walt Harris, has already made weight. Co-main eventers, Claudia Gadelia, Angela Hill, no problem, made weight. Edson Barbosa, dropping down to featherweight for the first time. He successfully made it for his fight with Dan Ige. Christoph Jocko made weight, middleweight. He is waiting on Eric Anders. Song Yadong will fight Marlon Vera in a featherweight bout. Both of them normally bantamweights, but they easily made 145, it looks like. Veteran Matt Brown, we're still waiting on him. He fights Miguel Baeza. Kevin Holland and Anthony Hernandez both made the middleweight limit. Kevin Holland coming in well under, actually, at 2.5 pounds under 185. Courtney Casey moving up to flyweight for the first time in the UFC. She fights Mara Romero Barella, who successfully made weight. Darren the Damage Elkins, or the Derek Elkins Damage, whatever you want to call him. He made weight for his featherweight fight with Nate Landwehr. We are still waiting for him. And Dontel Mays and Rodrigo Nascimento both made the heavyweight limit. Giga Chikadze weighed in at made the featherweight limit. He was supposed to fight Mike Davis. Mike Davis was forced to withdraw for medical reasons. And we are waiting on the results of Erwin Rivera, who took the fight on less than 48 hours notice. He will not be weighing in on this show. He'll be weighing in separately, as he is currently undergoing all the procedures that everyone else went through during fight week. I think they're having to put him through all that this morning. So COVID-19 testing, various other medicals and paperwork. And that is where we are. And Marvin Vittori also weighed in, because why not? We're having a good time here at the weigh-in party. He weighed in at 203.5, was supposed to fight Wednesday, did not. And then now it looks like he's on standby for a heavyweight fight, potentially, if someone drops out of one of those. That is our best guess right now. Casey, did I miss anything?
Casey ran away.
Jose,
Oh,
did
I'm
I
sorry.
miss anything?
No, I'm talking. I was muted. Sorry. Just like that one commercial. Oh God, seeing the same commercials over and over again. But Rivera won't be facing off with Chikaze because he has to get his COVID. No, that's not why.
Yeah, and medical.
I think he muted himself again.
Sorry. So Rivera, Esther was saying for the medicals, but Rivera actually won't be facing off because of the he doesn't have his testing done, and they don't know if he can actually be in the same cage. That's Chikaze.
Yes. That is why we have a red highlighted question mark, triple question marks under Erwin Rivera's name, because while he has stepped up, yes, we do not know if it is official. That fight could easily fall through. Mm-hmm. So the status of that bout definitely up in the air.
And obviously, Vittori would not be fighting Chikaze. A little too much weight difference there.
Now we'll talk about more of the place in this card in a second. I don't know if you guys saw Anthony Smith's statement that he put out late last night. His first public statement since the events of UFC Jacksonville, that brutal main event. Did you guys read that?
Basically, he said he was cool with everything, right?
Mm-hmm. And he told people, stop, don't worry about me, worry about yourselves. I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing we expect to hear from, of course, a guy nicknamed Lionheart. He's a no-nonsense fighter. Excuse me. The last thing he would want to do is stir up drama with his own corner. And look, we're only 2 days away from that fight. There's a lot of emotions. He's still physically recovering, I'm sure. But if anyone wants to check that out, again, you can find that on MMAfighting.com or, of course, on Anthony Smith's social media. But, he seems to be, keeping things in perspective. And Eddie D, can you guys say something to ESPN about the repetitive ads they play during UFC cards on Plus? Now, I'm up in Canada, so I didn't see these ads. Can you guys explain to me what ads? I did hear people complaining. What ads were you guys seeing?
Oh man, I'm trying to block those out. Basically, they rolled about, I think, the same two commercials over and 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 over, and and it reminded me of the era the when UFC had Fox cards, and when there was a first round knockout, you'd be like, oh whoa, what a knockout! But then you quickly realize, oh no, I'm gonna see 30 straight minutes of the same commercial. So it was essentially that. It was a lot of the new pandemic type commercials where a bunch of people are having a Zoom meeting like us or something, and someone goes, "Hey, you're on mute," and I'm Gus Fring. A bunch of celebrities zooming, and hey, we found the only guy who hasn't watched Tiger King.
But neither have I. Neither have I.
So.
I heard people saying that they will not buy or any product or watch anything that was advertised during the ESPN Plus stream. It was that repetitive that they're now adverse to anything that was featured in those advertisements. So that doesn't sound good. It can't be worse than the Bellator running endless ads for Ink Masters and Bar Rescue.
No, it was worse. It was worse. No.
They're on Paramount Network. Well, at least those are like, I don't understand why there's so much advertising for their own programs. Anyway, that's a whole separate rant. I'll just say I've never watched an episode of Bar Rescue or Ink Masters, and I never will because I've seen too much now in these commercials. So repetitive. Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch the ESPN stream, you would see this guy over and over again.
Oh, he doesn't seem too bad. It seems like I get. So wait, this is a Subway commercial?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
There we go. Yeah, put him right. There we go. He's part of the camera crew. There we go. He's taking. I'm sure everyone. Yeah.
This commercial, I gotta say, this commercial is slightly humorous the first time you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly humorous the second time you see it. Annoying the third time you see it. Like, just, it feels like you got the virus. Actually, the fourth or fifth time you see it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's.
Yeah.
Well, again, look, with respect to the fine people, we did a lot of Subway advertisement, I think, on last on Tuesday, I think, when we were talking about Anthony Smith and him discovering getting his MMA start at a Subway. So
yes.
A lot of Subway advertisement here. Now a little bit of criticism for their ad campaign. We give it and we take it away. I'm still expecting to get that free sub, that free footlong in the mail. Subway, whoever, if you're watching, footlong in the mail, I will welcome it. Casey, we should probably talk about today's card.
We still have an hour. Okay.
We have plenty of time, but let's talk about the card a little bit. We've got some really good matchups here. I thought the Jacksonville card looked pretty good, but this one also.
This isn't the Jacksonville card. Where are we at now?
Sorry. This is hashtag UFCFL or UFC on ESPN 8, and even that numbering is dubious depending on how you count the events that were recently postponed / canceled. But we are going with UFC on ESPN 8 because the last event on ESPN that did air was UFC on ESPN 7. So that's the numbering we want to go with, people, if that just to make that any less confusing. But yeah, we got some real bangers on here. Casey, what's one you're really looking for, outside of maybe the main event?
I've been muting and just yelling how much I'm excited about Song versus Vera, but just to myself.
Yeah, you mentioned it too. Marlon Vera, he's got an insane finishing streak going on. I think he's only behind Charles de Bronx Oliveira for the most consecutive finishes. I think he has six straight finishes, which, like, at the UFC level is absurd. He's got 5 straight finishes. Charles Oliveira has 7. So he's on an incredible run. And Song Yadong, he's coming off that tough draw with Cody Stamann, but he looks like a total blue chipper at 135 pounds. Again, this fight at featherweight, but both guys expected to return to 135 whenever their next booking comes about. Song Yadong, only 22 years old, so this guy could very much be the future of the bantamweight division. Great fight to open up the main card tomorrow night.
And the Damage.
Love saying that's a great nickname.
Great nickname. The Damage, who sometimes his friends call him Darren Elkins, but he is the Damage.
We're not close enough with him to call him Darren Elkins. We have to.
That's
call
his gym name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Darren Elkins, and the name was well earned because there was a stretch there. He's on a 3-fight losing streak now, unfortunately, but there was a stretch there where Elkins was known for like looking overmatched for like 10 minutes or long stretches of his fight, and then just coming back and smashing people. He did that to Michael Johnson, and excuse me, the Mercurial Michael Johnson, as we always call him now. And he also did that in a fight with Mirsad Bektic, where he was just getting like tooled up for almost the entire fight, and then somehow came back, had a blistering comeback, and won by TKO in the third round. So
one of the best comebacks of the year, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, he was a huge underdog going in, so the fight played out like as everyone expected it to, and which made the comeback even more memorable.
Now, I was joking around first, but do you know why he's called the Damage?
Because he takes a lot of damage.
No, he used to be an insurance adjustment. What? Oh yeah.
But
He used to work in insurance. So
that's pretty cool.
He would go to like places and adjust, see how much damage a fire. So yeah, he would write the checks and stuff. I just made that up.
Darren Elkins is also one of the most fascinating looking individuals I've ever seen in my entire life. This might sound really mean, but this is years before I was covering like this full time. I was watching a UFC card with friends, and someone I was with had never watched MMA in their life, and Darren Elkins walks out, and they're like, why is the alien wearing a human skin suit from Men in Black 1 fighting in an octagon right now?
Ooh.
You've seen Men in Black 1, right?
Yeah, shout out Vincent D'Onofrio.
You know when the cockroach alien wears human skin? Looks like Darren Elkins.
Yeah.
Apparently looks like Darren Elkins.
Yeah. Okay, that's not a very flattering comparison.
I'm telling you what. That was his first interpretation of when he saw Darren Elkins.
Well, Darren has a tough fight ahead of him. He's facing Nate Landwehr, who we're still waiting to see weigh in. Nate himself was doing the damage over at M1 Global over in Russia and places like Russia, Kazakhstan. Very, very exciting fighter. For a while, I think he was maybe the most exciting unsigned fighter, not in the UFC. He had a tough debut against Herbert Burns. He amazingly lost by first round knockout. Herbert Burns, a great prospect, but Herbert Burns had 0 knockouts going into that fight. And Nate Landwehr had never been knocked out, despite being in some absolute stand-up wars in his fight. And of course, Herbert Burns KO, as you would predict, because MMA. That's how MMA happens. So hopefully Nate gets a little more time to show his stuff this time around.
Oh, one of our commenters actually. Yeah, this is a bummer. It couldn't happen. Uriah Hall versus Vittori. Yeah, 285ers that were ready to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Who they were in the same city, in the same hotel, for the same long fight week, but yet just on the wrong end of the fight weeks for them. But that's
just bulk up to 205 and throw down.
For who? For Uriah Hall?
Or both of them. Like neither of them were supposed to fight today. They're supposed to fight.
No, I know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. 285ers who were
just weighing at like 201 and 203, something like that. Yeah, you're not wrong.
There was no way the UFC kind of anticipated that, but that's just a bummer. It couldn't have happened.
It'd also be really I know Vittori is really hyped, but from my rumblings with Uriah Hall's team this week, they were really adamant that this was going to be a showcase fight, specifically against Jacare, and they were going to use this to really propel Uriah Hall up the rankings. It would be Marvin Vittori is obviously not the name or caliber, or not, I don't want to say caliber, the name or style of fighting Jacare has, and he's on one of the better streaks of his career. His only loss in the last 3 years has been to Paulo Costa. Be a big risk, but yeah, I would love that fight.
Sure, it would be great. He said he was supposed to fight Jacare, and of course, Jacare, the only fighter so far to test positive for COVID-19, him and 2 of his cornermen. So that fight did not go through. But that event proceeded as scheduled, as did Wednesday's card in Jacksonville. But yeah, Hall Vittori, hey, maybe this is something that can happen in the future. It would be a really good matchup.
If those guys, actually, the UFC, because they're looks like they're pretty desperate for fights for May 30th. Have Hall Vittori fight May 30th at 205, because I don't think you want both of those guys cutting down to 185 again. So have them just fight at 205. Jacare's fought at 205 already, and I'm sure Vittori just wants to get in there and fight. So I'm sorry, Jacare. I'm sorry, Hall. Jacare won't be able to fight for a little bit. Sorry, but Uriah Hall and Vittori, at some sort of catch weight above 185 for. Oh,
We're here. Eric Anders is about to hit the scale. Everyone caught up. He didn't even wait for the guy. He just walked out. Everyone, like the UFC PR is rushing back. One eighty six for Eric Anders. That guy, everyone. He just walked out. PR wasn't even looking. The UFC cameraman was like sitting down, hiding behind a computer. It's like normally they walk into a line on the floor and wait for their name. And he just bypassed it all and just hit the scale.
Good for Anders. Get on that scale.
Weigh-ins, never a fun time for Anders. I've spoken to him a bunch of times. He's a big guy. Eric Anders is a really big guy. He's dabbled at 205 a couple of times. Oh, sorry, or just once. I should say just once. Sorry, that one fight with Thiago Santos.
Yeah, that was last minute, so.
Yeah, with Khalil Roundtree, that had to have been a light heavyweight fight as well, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry. So a couple of times he's dabbled at a light heavyweight. And while it's certainly an easier situation for him, it doesn't seem like the ideal weight class for him. So 185 is where he wants to be. He's married to a nutritionist, so I know he said it makes things a lot easier for him. But again, when you're a guy that big, it's I don't think there's any such thing as an easy weight cut. But there we go, 186.
He's also a former University of Alabama linebacker, which is usually in the 200 to 230 pound range. Former national champion, I think. My memory is correct. He actually forced a fumble. In that champ, 2009. Was it 2009? Longhorns.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I want to say Crimson Tide was Texas Longhorns.
I believe it is 2009.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's not like it's easy to say like he can make 185 this and that, but like when you go from just to what's up?
Oh no, I don't think anyone's saying that Eric Anders can make 185 easy.
No. I'm saying like it's easy for someone to look at him and be like, yeah, he's a middleweight, like he can make that. But like when you're next to like a 230 pound linebacker, and then the next thing you know they're weighing in at 185, it's crazy. Like Casey, do you remember when we were at the MMA awards most recently? We saw Jeff Cobb, New Japan star, Ring of Honor star, and this and that. So he's not an MMA fighter. He's a professional wrestler who actually wrestled Yoel Romero in the Olympics. He is a huge human being, Jeff Cobb. He's like, oh yeah, I just saw Yoel Romero's fighting. Like he has a fight in August. Jeff Cobb assumed Yoel Romero was a heavyweight, and then we were like, no, he cuts to 185. He's like, how is that possible? After like looking, it's just like going from one sport to another. I think other athletes don't realize that.
We just saw this on Wednesday with OSP.
You're right. He looks.
He was at his linebacker. He was at his football weight, whatever his college football weight was. So he fought at 240 something. Yeah, and he looked very in shape and fit, and fought a super competitive fight against Ben Rothwell.
I asked Ben. I go, were you surprised that Ovince St. Preux came in heavier than 3 heavyweights? And Ben was like, yeah, Ovince St. Preux is not a light heavyweight. Like he's just not. He felt like a heavyweight in there, and he's like. He then has to clarify. He's like, I'm gonna send all these light heavyweights back down. He goes, that's not a light heavyweight. I fought a legitimate heavyweight. I feel bad for his weight cut down to 205 and all the light heavyweights that he knocked out down there, because he was massive down there.
All right, AK, we have about 1 hour left. Why don't you give our viewers at home a recap of what has happened so far?
All right. We had a big rush of wins as usual. Right now, we are left just with waiting on Alistair Overeem. His opponent, Walt Harris, successfully weighed in for Saturday's heavyweight main event. Our co-main event is on. Strawweights Claudia Gadelia and Angela Hill both successfully made weight. Edson Barbosa, dropping down to featherweight for the first time, made 145.5. Longtime lightweight contender, made the weight. He fights Dan Ige. Eric Anders, the last guy to just win, for anyone who just saw that. He's weighed in successfully for a middleweight bout with veteran Christoph Jacko. Song Yadong and Marlon Vera, 2 bantamweight contenders, competing at featherweight for this fight because on some notice, they both successfully made the limit. Miguel Baeza weighed in successfully, 170.5. He is waiting for welterweight veteran Matt Brown. Then we have Kevin Holland and Anthony Hernandez meeting in a middleweight bout. They both made weight. Mauro Romero Barella made weight, flyweight 125.5. She's waiting on Courtney Casey, who is a straw weight, moving to 125 pounds for the first time. Darren Elkins made weight 146. We are waiting on his opponent, Nate Landwehr, and then we have Dontel Mays and Rodrigo Nascimento, who made the heavyweight limit. If you look at the graphic there, you see Giga Chikadze at the bottom. He was supposed to fight Mike Davis, but Mike Davis had some medical issues, possibly tied to his weight cut. So stepping in on less than 48 hours is Floridian Erwin Rivera. Rivera will be weighed separately. I do not think you will see him. You will not see him on this broadcast, I should say, and you probably won't see him at the stare downs either because of the late notice. He's undergoing all the medicals and all the paperwork and the COVID-19 testing that everyone else had already gone. So he's taking care of all of that this morning and weighing in. So good luck to him. We also had Marvin Vittori strangely weighing in, making 203.5. He was supposed to fight earlier this week. He lost his fight to Carl Robertson. So he weighed in today. Looks like he's planning to be an alternate for one of the heavyweight fights. But
he didn't weigh in at heavyweight, so it's confusing.
A little light. Yes, we're very confused here. We're talking about Eric Anders before, a fellow Bama boy with Walt Harris, so Alabama definitely being represented. Also, a guy who's dabbled, we said played a lot of football. He's dabbled as a pro, including in the Canadian Football League. He was signed for a short little while with the Calgary Stampeders.
What's up?
The Canadian Football League, or as we call it up here, the Football League. So Eric Anders,
I'm a big CFL fan. I've been to a Calgary Stampeders game. It was very exciting. I think you guys have figured it out with the little bit of the field is bigger, right? It's a bigger field.
It's wide open. It's a wide open game. Man.
Wide open game. And, I like you're efficient. You don't need 4 downs. Let's do everything in 3.
And we got the Rouge, buddy. We got the Rouge, the one pointer. We got the Rouge. Why does the NFL not have the Rouge? The Rouge is so sweet. So we got the one pointer Rouge. We got the only 3 downs. We got a wide open field because the defenses aren't as good anyway. So screw it. Let them fly.
Whoa! Defenses aren't as good. What do you mean? Your offense is just better. It's just far superior.
The offense is great.
And you even put the goalpost like in the middle of the field or something. I don't know. You put them don't you put it?
Yeah. It's not behind it's not at the end of the. It's right in front of it. It's at the front of the end zone.
I'm all about sports that have random, inanimate objects in the field of play.
Potentially in the way. Yeah. No, it's better that way.
Being from Houston at the old Minute Maid Park, they used to have the hill in the home run area. And
that was so cool.
That was and guys would always trip on it like a Yama pit.
Is that not still there?
No, the hill's gone. Too many people fell down on it. I think it was like a Yama pit back there. It was great.
I think players hated it. Didn't the players hate it? Like.
Yeah, they hated it because the center fielders was very confusing.
It was also super far. Like I can't remember what video game it was, and it was one of the old MLB games from the early 2000s. They're getting the hoop out somewhere, looks like, but I don't see anyone. But the game would always track your farthest hit, and if you played in Minute Maid Park, your farthest hit was never a home run because of that stupid hit.
What stupid? Okay, I'm cutting you. Okay, you're off. You're out of here.
All right, bye.
You're out. Okay. Oh, who we got?
I can't see. I see they're getting the hoop. Looks like they're getting into the hoop right now back there.
So we got Casey, either Casey or Brown or or Landwehr. If it's over him in the hoop, I'll be very.
Courtney Casey.
Courtney Casey
up next. Leading the hoop.
Interesting. She's going up in weight, and seems like she's having a bit difficulty making weight, but.
You think maybe she overestimated or started too late? Maybe
we'll see.
Thinking that she can easily make it.
We often hear this fighters who go up in weight. Still, it's the way that their body is so messed up from previous weight cuts. Everything is difficult.
I also see Matt Brown weighing away too. His shirt's already off. It looks like he just came out of the sauna or something like that.
So we have Courtney Casey about to weigh in the hoop. Bring the hoop a little higher.
126.
126.
Okay.
Tony Casey, 126. The boyfriend.
Just a little bit of drama.
Carlos watching closely. Carlos, her boyfriend and training partner, whatever else you want to call him, is also standing on by watching very, very closely. Yeah, Matt Brown definitely just came out of the sauna because he's standing right here.
All right, and
wiping
Courtney
him down.
Casey is weighing in, posing right now. So Casey versus Barrera is official. Both fighters make the flyweight limit.
He's a little slow.
Our next fighter to the scale on the 170-pound welterweight division, Matt Brown.
As I would say, Matt Brown was definitely just going to scale because he was getting completely wiped out back there. One seven one for Matt Brown.
So we're just now waiting on Nate Landwehr and Alistair Overeem and possibly Erwin Rivera, who will be weighing in off camera, probably not on stream.
Yeah. And Rivera will not be weighing in on this scale or facing off because they, even with his medicals, they still haven't received his COVID testing yet. So he can't be in contact with any of the same equipment.
Yeah, his opponent Giga Chikadze made weight, so now Giga just kind of has to wait for the next day, probably up until fight night, almost up until fight night to find out whether this fight will actually happen. So it's sympathy for him and his team.
I do want to make a note, Casey's Courtney Casey. I can see sitting down, chugging some water right now. So that was clearly a rough weight cut. Even if it was a new weight class. I'm not panning, I'm not showing that, but she's just sitting down chugging water.
Yeah. And you can imagine how hard making 115 has been for her. Probably she did that 10 times. I don't. Let me check. I'm gonna try to remember. She ever missed weight for straw weight? No, she made every time. So it could not have been easy. Clearly.
No.
Just to pick up on our Minute Maid Park discussion earlier, our own Mike Heck, I saw him chime in on the YouTube comments saying Jim Edmonds, St. Louis Cardinals great Jim Edmonds, had a great catch there. Yeah, you can definitely YouTube that Jim Edmonds Minute Maid, and if I recall correctly, it was almost like a cartoon. It's almost like it had quite a lot of zigging and zagging, and
I'm also fairly certain that he eliminated the Houston Astros from the 2004 playoffs. With,
yes, you must remind
with a marquee double.
Jim Edmonds, a great player, and many high. Really, just Google Jim Edmonds catches and kill 10 minutes of your time. You'll have probably I'm sure someone has an epic reel of Jim Edmonds catches. He was a sensational center fielder. And if there's one thing I know, it's that MMA fans also love baseball. So,
especially Pete Carroll.
Especially Pete Carroll loves baseball. Do we have any Crystal Crew? I'm only asking because I'm a journalist and I have to be fair and impartial. Do we have any Crystal Crew representatives on the card today, Jose Youngs?
On the fighters?
Mm-hmm. I don't think so, right? Not that we know of.
Not that we know.
Not that we know of. Crystal Crew had a fine showing on Wednesday, I will say.
But Crystal Crew did not have a fine showing on Saturday.
Correct.
Who?
Oh, come on.
Jairzinho, one of the OGs.
Biggie boy.
Yes. Okay, that's right. So it's been a mixed week for Crystal Crew. I wish there was someone fighting today to split the difference. But yes, Jairzinho ran into the train that is Francis Ngannou. And was taken out in 20 seconds. So that his crystals did not save up. I think we said before there is no crystal yet that has been discovered that is Ngannou proof. Someday, God willing, there will be for the sake of the rest of the heavyweight division. But until that day comes, I would just say don't take a fight with Francis Ngannou. But Brian,
there's no crystal that will save you from Thor's hammer. That is Francis Ngannou's fist.
But Brian Boom Kelleher, noted member of the Crystal Crew, advocate of crystal. What do you guys say? Technology, science? What do you say? what's the? I don't want to offend you.
Reality.
Noted advocate of Crystal Reality. Had a huge performance on Wednesday, picking up a second round knockout of Hunter Azure in a very tough fight. Azure really brought to him the first, and then also got himself a nice $50,000 fight of the night bonus. So again, I don't believe in it. All right, I don't believe in this Crystal BS, but Brian Kelleher certainly does, and he's having some good results. So let's
you gotta believe it because I'm very happy for Kelleher for getting extra 50 grand and his opponent getting 50 grand. I honestly thought that wasn't fight of the night. I mean, I thought fight of the night was Borg versus Simone, but they aren't rocking the crystal, so they ain't getting no cash. So
that's true.
Yes, the data is certainly working against my theory. Like again, I'm a man of science, so I am collecting data on these things. All right, so I will give credit where credit is due. You're right. One guy uses crystals, he got a bonus. Two guys don't use crystals, and they didn't get a bonus. I got to take that information for what it is. But it's an ongoing study.
What's been the fight of the week so far, guys? It's been your favorite fight.
Are you kidding me? The main event of UFC 249.
You thought so?
That's 100%. That's been by far my.
I thought that was Justin Gaethje, a great performance by Justin Gaethje. But as far as like a fight, I think that was just.
But like you got to remember, like it's just a different experience watching it live, like 10 feet away from an empty arena. Like I was so close to that. I could hear every punch, everything said. So. It was so unique that it's
Well, okay, but I didn't think that was fun. I didn't even think that was. I mean, I thought Gaethje's got performance, but I almost never agree with the fight of the night for the UFC anyway.
What do you think was the fight of the night from the first night?
I had actually I had Luque Price. That was my fight. I thought that was more back and forth.
Oh yeah,
that was a good fight.
Yeah. I mean,
so good.
Yeah, and. I mean, I'm happy Ferguson got an extra 50K, but if we're going just taking beatings, I wish Anthony Smith got an extra 50K yesterday too.
Right.
For taking it, because oh man, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, that was.
I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay. Jose going to get some much needed energy, some much needed liquid energy. Anyone tuning in, we've got a little less than 50 minutes to go in the UFC on ESPN 8 or UFC on ESPN 8 or UFC Florida official weigh-in results. You can see the graphic there made by the brilliant Esther Lin. Almost everyone has weighed in. We are just successfully weighed in. We are just waiting on Alistair Overeem, who is in the main event against Walt Harris, and a featherweight in late landwear former M1 global champion who fights Darren the Damage Elkins. And also Erwin Rivera, late notice replacement, who's supposed to fight Giga Chikadze. He is undergoing all this paperwork and testing because of the short notice nature of his involvement. So we will see with Erwin Rivera. We are not expecting to see him on stream. We'll have the results for you. Keep your eye on social media. Keep your eye on MMAfighting.com. He is normally a bantamweight, and so he has to make featherweight, so fingers crossed, shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. But again, you never know in these situations. I don't know how prepared Vera was. They could have probably pulled the poor guy off the couch, but he did go on social media earlier today and was very, very excited about the opportunity. And as you can see at the bottom, some of you might be wondering, why does this say Marvin Vittori weighed in at 203.5 as an alternate? We were asking the same question. Marvin was supposed to fight Wednesday against Colin Roberson. Roberson had some medical issues related to his weight cut. That fight was scratched. And Vittori apparently still looking for a fight. So he came in today, 203.5, possibly to replace a heavyweight, but he seems a little light for that. But that is really the only option, as there are no light heavyweight bouts scheduled for this card. So that's where we are right now. Casey, how are the stream monsters looking? Are the stream monsters being nice?
It's a thing.
Guys, I was just trying to find coffee / I had to go to the bathroom real quick. I bumped into Overeem outside, so he should be here relatively soon.
Wow, early. We've been saying this whole time that Alistair Overeem, very well known for taking his time with weigh-ins. He's never had issues making weight. He's a big guy, but no problem making the heavyweight limit. So he usually takes quite his sweet time before hitting the scale. But according to Jose, he is here. That doesn't mean he's going to weigh in right away. He could be enjoying himself a nice little continental breakfast, and then weighing in 30 minutes.
Continental. Where do you think we are? Continental breakfast.
Yeah,
That's the treatment you usually get. I say when Jose yells to someone, I'm like, Jose gets the VIP treatment.
This is pandemic era. There ain't no buffet anymore.
Ain't no buffet.
Ain't no buffet no more.
In Jackson now.
Is that a Limp Bizkit lyric? That sounds really good. I'm gonna write that down. It's good stuff.
Ain't no buffet no more.
Oh,
I did it for the
okay.
buffet.
Oh, we got some movement.
Oh, okay.
Overeem is here.
Next fighter to the scale is one half of your main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, in the heavyweight division, Alistair Overeem.
He's definitely not taking his shirt off, because he never does. Bingo.
Oh, did it freeze? No. All right, we're gonna get video of this. We don't have any. It's frozen. Oh, here we go.
You should see it now, right?
No, yeah, he's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice and pixelated. That's Overeem is just pixelated in real life.
He's a Bigfoot.
253.5.
253.5. 253.5.
The Reem on weight for his 18th UFC appearance. He'll be.
We have another individual about to.
Oh, here we go.
I can't see who it is.
Nate Landwehr should be the last one.
Oh, this could be it. Our final weigh-in.
45-pound featherweight division, Nate Landwehr.
There you go, Nate Landwehr. 45 minutes early.
This will be the last person weighing in.
Let me confirm that again before we sign off.
Mm-hmm.
146.
146 for Nate Landwehr. Let me check. Let me 100% make sure that is absolutely it.
Jose, just checking on the situation. As of now, all fighters expected to weigh in on stream. Okay. All fighters expected to weigh in on stream have shown up. We said the only name there, as the graphic has been updated. Rivera, undergoing all kinds of tests, paperwork, the sort of thing everyone else has done earlier this week. Late notice replacement. Jose, what's the update?
Heidi just jumped up and said, "I'm going to go see if he's ready now." I don't know if she's talking about stare downs or if it's just going to be a win.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
let me ask.
Okay. Stick around. So stick around with us, everyone, for now. We could be having.
We were just told we're not done yet. Stand by.
All right.
Every time.
Rivera, a bantamweight out of Florida, getting the late notice call to replace Mike Davis in a featherweight bout against Giga Chikadze. If Rivera can make it, this actually has the potential to be a really exciting fight. Rivera is a straight-up stand-up guy, and Chikadze is a very accomplished boxer. So this could be exactly the fight that kickboxer. Thank you. So this could be exactly the fight that Giga's team is looking for to make a statement. He's had a couple of tough fights. He is 2-0 in the UFC so far, but they've both been split decisions. He had a kind of a weird outing in his first fight where it was called a split draw at first, and then they had to kind of call him back and correct him. So he didn't even really get to enjoy the thrill of his first UFC win. It's been a rough ride for Giga so far. So we'll see if he actually gets himself a fight this time, and gets it against an opponent who will stand and trade with him, which could lead to some exciting results. Giga's debut was against Brandon Davis, tough fighter.
Is Giga there? He trains at King's MMA, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
So is Rafael Cordero in the building? or did he make the trip?
No update.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to see what they're like. They're all talking, but they're not doing anything.
That's right, everyone. MMA is back. I was said earlier the post-fight show after using Jacksonville. MMA is back. Chaos is back in your lives. This is the kind of stuff we're used to on weigh-in days, on leading up to fight day. Anything can happen. On fight night, anything can happen. And again, you're getting that familiar feeling now. I'm sure of weigh-ins.
People missed this. They were craving this.
They were.
They were like, remember they were sitting around. They're going like, oh, why is the MMA media trying to take away morning weigh-ins from us?
Well, I'll tell you, we're definitely bringing it to them now. Again, I'm a big weigh-ins guy. Love getting up for weigh-ins. Love writing about weigh-ins. So really, really happy to be here for everyone that's watching. Again, everyone who's up this early just to watch the ceremony, the third weigh-ins of the week. Thank you guys for joining us. You guys are absolute maniacs. So thank you for checking in with our coverage. Again, anyone just tuning in now, we are waiting potentially on Rivera with 40 minutes left to go in the official weigh-in window. Everyone else has successfully weighed in, including main eventers Alistair Overeem and Walt Harris, and co-main event strawweights Angela Hill and Claudia Gadelha. So Rivera, just a late notice, very, very, very late notice replacement for Mike Davis. We'll see. We were told originally, we hear a bit of a commotion in the background there. We were told originally that Rivera was not going to would likely not weigh in on stream, but I guess there's so much time left that there is a chance. Yeah, we don't know. So
he still might not. We were told
he still might. Yes. We don't know. So we are on standby. We will have stare downs, I believe, for you later today. Again, we don't know when those will start, so we'll keep you updated. Stay tuned to MMA Fighting social media, and of course, this broadcast will let you know as soon as we have an idea of how these morning events are going to unfold. So. A lot of, again, we were talking before, there's some real potential for some great fights in this card. Matt Brown, Matt the Immortal Brown, always someone to look forward to. Again, he is a very willing dance partner in Miguel Baeza. I know a young guy who a lot of people might not know, but he's gonna give Matt Brown a scrap. This is the kind of young guy, very hungry, who's gonna look to build on some Contender Series momentum and winning his first UFC fight. And a name like Brown is huge. This will be Brown. Just his second fight since he kind of he took a retirement, an MMA retirement in November 2017, and came back with a huge knockout of Ben Saunders, and now he fights again, first time in 2020.
This is the late replacement.
Huh?
So, sorry, some people were all chattering over who's next, and there's still no update.
Yeah. The Matt. Do you quite understand the Matt Brown booking? I feel like Matt Brown's at this point of his career where you put him against names, or at least kind of vets, or I guess.
Well, so this was the fight for the Columbus card.
Yeah, I know. Even then, this was always seemed like a weird booking for Matt Brown.
We just got an update, a little less than 5 minutes.
Oh, Rivera is weighing in.
I assume that's what he means, but not 100%. Heidi's standing there watching on the side, so she hasn't left the video either. So it looks like Heidi and Renee are both watching.
So I'm sorry. So we'll see Rivera. Oh, by the way, we should mention, of course, we were talking about the main event and the emotions surrounding it. Walt Harris's return, his first fight since the Anaya Blanchard tragedy. Everyone knows that story by now. His stepdaughter was the victim of a violent crime. ESPN, I believe on the ESPN MMA YouTube page, they have a little mini doc about Walt and about his story and everything that's happened since. So much later, after you're done with our coverage, head over to that and check out that story on YouTube. I have not had the chance to watch it myself, but of course, it's the kind of story you really need someone to put it in perspective for you, because it's unimaginable. It was an unimaginable tragedy. And it's great to see Walt back. He was very cordial, during the virtual media day. He gave a lot of time, answered every question. You just imagine he's probably had to do this over and over again already, and still has to prepare for a fight to get back into action. So Walt has been supremely professional during all this, and it's going to be great to see him just get in the cage on Saturday and do what he wants to do. Get that fight against an idol of his in Alistair Overeem. So very much looking forward to that.
It's cordial, Alex.
What did I say?
Cordial.
Cordial. Cordial. That's how we say it in Canada. That's the.
No, it's not.
We practice the British English.
It's because she's the same. All right, you're a Brit. How do you say cordial?
Cordial?
Yeah. It's not cordial?
No, that's a drink.
There you go.
put
A Brit just completely threw your theory out.
His accent
cordial,
made that.
Like, cordial is like a drink flavor thing. You can make lime cordial and shit like that. That's a that's a cordial.
He was trying to tell me that Brits pronounce it cordial, so I have to ask a Brit. So Alex,
You can pronounce it as cordial. Now I'm second guessing my own language.
Yes.
He's very cordial. Yeah, cordial. I say cordial because I don't speak.
Yeah, because you're an
You
adult.
can. No, I think Alex might be right. You can actually say cordial.
Don't tell him.
Jacksonville.
Is it John Jones? He's got
Jacksonville is taking.
John Jones is
Could
gonna
be.
win. I try to guess who's gonna
No,
win.
is it John Jones? Is it John Jones is about to weigh in? Is it?
No,
What? Quick, tweet that. That's an exclusive.
well, you'll be disappointed now.
Yeah.
That's too
John
far.
Jones is not coming. Why John?
Hi, Lene.
Oh, I think I get it.
Jose,
Because he was like, I feel like I need to boost everyone's numbers for this fight card, so Jones is gonna show up once.
John's a country guy.
Yeah,
He'll step up to the UFC.
Yeah. he'll step up, and I'll especially step up for the.
We're still live, guys.
his YouTube numbers.
tell Lene hi. Tell her. Casey says hi from.
And, Casey says hello.
Who did?
Casey.
Ah, hi Casey.
Hi from Inglewood.
I see you.
Oh,
I won't be on screen.
Oh, you're good.
Bye.
She's,
The very nice UFC PR.
Yes, wonderful UFC PR, Lene. Again, we thank the fans for tuning into our coverage, and also again thank the staff, the UFC staff, I think for being part of this. And
I've been thinking about
together.
that. Yeah, that's man. What a tough week for the people on the ground. Who are the UFC workers. Like it's a tough feat. Yeah, 3 fights this week. These crazy conditions. Yeah.
The fighters are going to get all the glory, well deserved for sure, but definitely all these a lot of people who are behind the scenes taking care of all this stuff, setting up these events for Jose, setting the broadcast for all of us, setting up the show for all the fighters, for everyone involved. A lot of those names will go unrecognized. So definitely, I think we all need to give a big tip of the cap to all of those people involved, because these people are really making a sacrifice to bring us this. I'm sure they're happy to be working, but at the same time, we all know the conditions that these people are being asked to work under, and it's not the easiest thing. So thank you to everyone there. And we are at a little over 30 minutes now. It looks like we're just waiting on late notice replacement Uriah Rivera. I'd love to hear his story later. He's must have had a heck of a day so far. After being brought in as a replacement late last night, or at least reportedly brought in as a replacement late last night, and then going through all this stuff this morning as he prepares to weigh in, hopefully for his UFC debut. He's a former Titan FC champion, so that's definitely a reputable regional promotion. So he's gonna bring some serious pop to this matchup with Chikadze, a very accomplished kickboxer. What matchup? How was the media day for this event, Jose? Did you get a chance to speak to any?
I didn't. No.
Right.
But,
Okay.
We had a lot of items. Stand by. Emotion. Honest to God, all the media days have blended together. All these ones have done it together. You could tell me this is like a Brian Keller fight, and I would believe you.
Uriah Rivera, a former bantamweight, a Titan FC bantamweight champion, trying to make 145 on short notice.
I was told to stand by, but there's no movement.
Well, we are standing by. We are all standing by.
The commission, member of the Florida Commission, is standing diligently at the scale with his clipboard. Everyone is ready to go. We're just waiting on whoever we're waiting on.
This could be the beginning of Erwin Rivera's Cinderella story. We've certainly seen, late notice magic before. Just recently, an event that I was in attendance for, Tristan Connelly, when he was called in on very short notice to fight Michel Pereira, he not only beat Pereira, he picked up, I think he picked up a fight performance of the night.
Is it not Michel Pereira?
Michel Pereira.
Come on now.
Yeah.
He did win.
Look, I can't be posted. Yeah, that was huge.
All right. Hold on.
Our last fight of two scales in 155-pound division, fighting as potential alternate. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer Uriah Faber.
Uriah Faber's weighing.
What is happening right now? I'm sorry.
All right.
As a quote potential replacement.
Is this serious?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
$153.5 for Uriah Faber.
153. Wait, we don't have. Wait.
153.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, do we have a light? Wait, what?
No. Maybe. I have no idea.
Hold on. Marvin Vittori weighed in at 203.5 as an alternate. There are no light heavyweight bouts. Uriah Faber is weighing in at 153.5 as a lightweight alternate. There are no lightweight bouts scheduled for this card. What is going on? What is going on?
I'm trying to figure this out.
Jacksonville, Florida,
That concludes official weigh-in. Stare downs will take place a little after 11 o'clock.
Guys, we like to bring you nothing but the truth and the straight facts on these MMA fighting. You know that.
What did he weigh in at? 153?
0.5.
I'm going to try and find out what the situation is, but that is a wrap for the UFC on ESPN 8 official weigh-ins. Stare downs will take place a little after 11, according to the UFC staff.
Okay. Sure. Sorry, Jose, when you get the chance, could you repeat that stare down information again?
Stare down will take place a little after 11 local time, so in about 30 minutes. I'm going to go find out what's the situation.
In 30 minutes.
Okay. I'll give one last rundown before we head off then. As you can see in the graphic on the screen, almost everyone... this is just so confusing. I'll just go on. I won't sum it up right now. Heavyweight main eventers Alistair Overeem, Walter Harris on point. That is official. And as our co-main event, strawweights Claudia Gadelia and Angela Hill. Edson Barbosa dropped down to featherweight for the first time. He made it. Longtime lightweight contender. He weighed in 145.5 for his fight with Dan Ige. Middleweights Eric Anders and Christoph Jocko made weight. Bantamweight contenders Song Yadong and Marlon going up. Somewhat short. Veteran Matt Brown and Miguel Baeza will meet in a welterweight bout. Kevin Holland, Anthony Hernandez hit the middleweight mark for their fight. Courtney Casey, a longtime strawweight, moving up to flyweight, needed the hoop, but she made 126 for her fight with Mara Romero Barella. Darren the Damage Elkins, 146 for his fight with Nate Landwehr, also at 146. Heavyweights Dontel Mays and Rodrigo Nascimento were on weight. Giga Chikadze made weight 145.5 for his featherweight bout, which was supposed to be against Mike Davis. David had some issues with the weight cut, apparently, and some medical issues, so he will be replaced by, we think, Erwin Rivera, who, as of this morning, was undergoing testing. He's less than 48 hours notice, so undergoing testing, going through paperwork, medicals, and supposedly weighing in separately from everyone else, as he may be on some sort of quarantine. And then, as you can see at the bottom, we had Marvin Vittori, who was supposed to fight earlier this week in a middleweight bout. He weighed in 203.5 as an alternate for a light heavyweight bout that doesn't exist. Possibly a heavyweight bout. I have no idea. He was supposed to fight a middleweight against Roberson. That fight was scratched. And then we had the last person to weigh in, Hall of Famer Uriah Faber, 153.5 pounds as an alternate for a lightweight bout. And again, there are also no lightweight bouts in this card. So we do not know what is happening right now. There will be stare downs at the top of the hour. We said at 11 local time, Jacksonville. So in about 30 minutes. And I guess we'll be back for you then. Is that right, Casey?
I have no clue. I mean, it turns out it turns out the other Uriah might fight this weekend.
That's right. That's right. Uriah Hall was supposed to fight last Saturday. His opponent, Jacare Souza, unfortunately tested positive for COVID-19, so that fight, of course, was canceled. And now instead we get an appearance from Uriah Faber today at 153.5, ringing in for a lightweight fight.
So for the first time as ever, we had two fighters weigh in as alternates for two weight classes that are not on the card.
I'm just looking at the YouTube comments. Just a lot of LOLs, WTF. What is going? As confused as we are, guys. I wish I could clarify the situation for you definitively, but it looks like there's a lot of stuff up in the air right now. That's right. We have a comment on screen. Yeah, Vittori 253.5, no light heavyweight bouts. Faber 153.5, no lightweight bouts. So your guess is as good as mine. What these alternate weigh-ins really mean, what they will mean fight night rolls around.
Yeah.
But otherwise, everyone who is scheduled to compete, except for late notice people on alternates, they successfully made weight for their fights, so no worries there. And now we're just waiting on a couple of X factors. Will Giga Chikadze fight, and why were Marvin Vittori and Uriah Faber called in?
All right. Are we ending the stream to get set up for stare downs, Casey?
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for waking up early or late, depending on what part of the world you're in. Do a cool sign off, Jose.
This is Jose, the masked guy. I don't know where the guy with the scar, Alex Gilly, is, but who cares? And of course, Casey Leiden, the man running on the ones and twos, the best mustache in the MMA game. Alex is very offended, but the fact of the matter is he likes Limp Bizkit, and it comes with the territory. If you admit that on camera, you get insulted. But we'll be back top of the hour for stare downs. See you then.
My way, or the highway. That's Limp Bizkit, guys.